The story trailer for God of War Ragnarok was absolutely packed with tons of new details to look forward to, especially in the story. One of these details is the appearance of Odin, specifically at a time where Atreus is all alone and Kratos isn't with him. So what might be Odin's motive in this particular situation? In order to build up my theory, I have to first talk about Odin setting up a distraction for Kratos, mainly to find enough time for himself in order to be with Atreus when he is all alone, so that the situation is in his favor. So the distraction I'm referring to in this case is Thor. Odin would send Thor to fight Kratos and keep him busy, so the whole scene could start by having Thor appear at the cabin and Kratos orders Atreus to stay with Mimir in the cabin while he deals with whoever's outside, just like the first game where he tells Atreus to hide when Baldur shows up at the house. So the two of them fight and Thor hits Kratos really hard, causing him to fly in the air, and Thor using his powers would fly with Kratos in his hands and throw him into the frozen lake of Nine. That is when this scene plays out. But the bigger picture here is that Atreus is now all alone with Mimir by his side, so this is when Odin would strike. We would then get a transition to Odin appearing at the cabin. Odin being here all by himself indicates that he isn't here to fight, but to manipulate Atreus and just twist the whole situation to suit himself and the bigger outcome of Ragnarok as well. And I do suspect that Odin has shapeshifted here, so that Atreus doesn't even catch a single hint that it's the All-Father standing in front of him. So Odin would start talking to Atreus by explaining about Loki in order to trigger Atreus's already existing curiosity about himself and Loki, and this is evident in the trailers for Ragnarok as well. So after Loki, Odin would move on to the scenario of Ragnarok. He might even lie to Atreus about the murals by saying he has seen more than what Atreus saw at the end of 2018's God of War. All of this would definitely induce some amount of doubt and mystery in Atreus, but Odin, being the smart god he is, would back it up by providing evidence, but only things which are already known to Atreus as well as his father Kratos. After all of this, Odin would probably leave knowing that he has succeeded in tricking Atreus. By this time, Kratos would have temporarily beaten Thor and gotten rid of him, and he would then return to the cabin where this scene would play out.
What is it you will not tell me?
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow.
This mystery in Atreus' head whether or not to believe Odin and his information could lead to Atreus having a huge doubt in what to do, whether to be right or to follow the path of Loki and perhaps even be the one to commence Ragnarok. Perhaps this object Atreus is holding in the trailer was also given to him by Odin as a signal about something, or it's just a random object given to him by Odin so that Atreus gets obsessed with it or something like that. Or this object could also work like a tracking device so that Odin knows where Kratos and Atreus are in case he ever wanted to attack them in a tough situation. The reason I emphasize this object so much is because it's appeared twice in two trailers combined, so this strange object is definitely going to have some significance in the story or perhaps even the gameplay as well. One more point I just noticed in the trailer is that Kratos doesn't have his blades when fighting Thor, which leads me to believe that he hid them back at the cabin. Perhaps Odin wants some information about the blades of chaos or even the blades themselves as a weapon, so stripping Kratos of his weapons would slightly increase his probability of coming out on top. One more detail to support the theory of Odin wanting to deal with Atreus more than Kratos is directly present in God of War 2018 when Kratos gets the Jotunheim bridge to work. This particular scene plays out.
All this time I thought I needed you. But you're just meat. Turns out the boy is the brains.
And by the end of the story, we do know that Baldur was sent by Odin. So Odin definitely wants some sort of information or just manipulate Atreus to suit the whole situation of Ragnarok as well. So that's pretty much the end of this theory. Do let me know what you guys think about this, and do you have any alternate theories as to why Odin is meeting Atreus? I actually do have one more theory on Odin showing up at the cabin, but that might be a different video, probably a part of the What If series I've been doing for a while. So do check out the latest God of War What If on my channel if you're interested. The link is down in the description. The What If series is basically a special list of videos where I cover alternate possibilities that might have happened throughout the history of the God of War games. And that's about it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do leave a like if you've enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.